one thing was for sure. They both believe Sparks to be a total tool.
Be an exciting contest which shows that divorced couples can still have fun together, right?
Mythological hero H-list. C. On the spot dice spin.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Hello out there in game show garbage land. It's me, Cindy Saddleman, with a brand new series that we are debuting right now called Post Mortem. This is the show that we talk about recently canceled game shows and determine whether they deserve their fate or not. You know, just explaining why it got canceled and should have been canceled. Should it have been canceled or not? We'll explain it better the further we go along. And joining me right now is the effervescent host of game shows, I suppose. Hashtag Jordan for Card Sharks, Jordan Haas.
Thanks for having me again, Cindy. Hello, everyone from Game Show Garbage. I just want to say before we get started, I do read the YouTube comments on your videos, and they are probably the nicest comments I've ever gotten for anything, to be honest.
Just wait a few years.
Oh.
All right. So what we're going to be talking about today is the news of Love Connection that it recently got canceled a couple of weeks ago. The Andy Cohen hosted version lasted 2 seasons. It was mainly paired up with Beat Shazam during the summer. It was a kind of a odd pairing, so to speak. You had this big budget $1 million game show, and you have this smaller budget romance show. And do you think that weird pairing between the two kind of helped lead it to its demise after 2 seasons, whereas Beat Shazam is getting good ratings and is getting season 3?
I think that's a good question. So it was weird because I found that information because I heard the Stern interview because I'm a fan of Andy Cohen. I like Watch What Happens Live. I think he was the perfect host for the show. Mm-hmm. They had all the right parameters in place for a Love Connection reboot with him because he does the good addition. But when it comes to Fox, Love Connection is not really a good enough Fox show to begin with. Because as we both know, Love Connection got started in syndication. It's a syndicated show. It's one that you kind of have to either strip or put on like Saturday afternoons or Sunday afternoons, right before like America's Funniest Home Videos, for instance.
Well, they were a little more harder edge, more snarky during this run. Like, I remember one episode where Andy Cohen was like, he was hearing this date, and he was like, do your friends ever describe you as being fun? Outgoing?
Yeah. Like the typical jokingly answers that you hear for a casting notifications. We're looking for fun, outgoing people for a new dating show. Mm-hmm. And also Love Connection, really like the first 2 seasons were really good. Season 2, I loved actually way more than season 1 when they got rid of the money or the second date option. It was because things like, they actually had same-sex couples, for instance. Mm-hmm. Things like that were what really made the show modern day, and they kind of made it feel like the new dating app, and it worked. But I think because it was paired with Beat Shazam, it did lead somewhat to its demise. Because one is an upbeat music show. So if you were going to put Beat Shazam with anything, you're either going to pair it up with something like Mental Samurai, which, cross your fingers, is not going to be inducted soon.
It got tough competition for the Waney because you have TKO and you had the Singled Out revival.
Oh, see, that's kind of where that's kind of where you would put it then. So for me, you would put it with either a singing competition show, like you would put Beat Shazam with the Masked Singer, for instance, or you would put it with any kind of like Empire. Empire's a music drama, so it makes sense to put the music show with the music show. Mm-hmm. Or you put it up with a big, heavy reality show already, like a Hell's Kitchen, a MasterChef Junior, one of those. Love Connection is none of those. It is a discussion show. It is it's a filler show to lead up to something big, not the 9 o'clock show that's the big hit show. This is the show that should have been like right before a Mad TV reboot or something, like on Fox. I think if you're going to do a love show, it would have to be paired up with another love show. So if this was like a Temptation Island or Joe Millionaire or
Paradise Hotel, because they're working on that.
Oh, Love Island.
Fox.
Love Island.
Love Island, yeah.
I think that's CBS. I think CBS is doing Love Island.
CBS or NBC are doing Love Island, but it's the same idea.
Like you would pair that with Love Island because they're both romantic themed shows, and those are perfect for like right before like a Thursday or what's not Friday proper, because Friday, Saturday, Sundays are properly known as date nights for a lot of people because they just got off work and they're in the weekend. So let me get with my my colleague and let's go have some beer or go see a movie or something fun. So you're not going to put it on that day. But you put it right before. But if you put it a day before, like a Thursday or a Monday, you would have some big hits. And I think they put Love Connection on Wednesday nights at 9 at the first season with Beach Shazam, and then they put on Friday nights at like 9.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the worst thing because only single people are spending their Friday nights watching Fox, unless you're watching it with your like. With your boyfriend or girlfriend, just hanging out on the couch going, let's watch Love Connection. I don't think that's ever something people are really obligated to say.
Well, the final rating that they got, the average was 0.5 and 1.6 million viewers.
Like most CW shows get higher than that.
No, they don't.
A 0.5?
Most of them get 0.4s or 0.3s.
Oh, geez.
Like, the only thing that gets that high is, like, Riverdale.
That's what I was going, like, a Riverdale, a Flash and Arrow. Like, those...
And Arrow's going away.
It is going away. Stay tuned for the Post Mortem of Arrow. Did he leave the island? I don't know. Who gives a shit? So with Love Connection, it is a very provocative show. It lives off its provocative... I think... The problem was the network. Mm-hmm. I think this is perfect for cable. If this was on Bravo right before Watch What Happens Live, this would have been a cult hit. If this was on right in that in between part of a Real Housewives or maybe a Project Runway, you put that right in between, leading up to that big reality show or leading up to Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, this would have much, much higher numbers. This is a perfect cable show, not a network show.
Or a CW show.
This is a perfect for CW. They are always looking for a love show. This is a perfect love. This is perfect if you put that as the lead up to Penn and Teller Full Us. Or the lead up to Whose Line.
No, you can't do that because that's the pairing. You'd have to find another pairing for it. Maybe like iZombie or something like that.
Oh, yes. Or the revival, the Jamie Kennedy Experiment.
Oh, God.
No, we're not doing that. But the Love Connection definitely, I mean, it worked. I would say it was a successful show. The season 2 fixed the problems people had with the first season.
Yep.
It brought more of what you love. Andy Cohen telling jokes. Let's riff on the first dates. Let's have the audience vote. The big dramatic reveal of who you chose. It's so over the top that it's like the only other ways you can fix this is either you put it in syndication, which in an earlier conversation you said that can't happen because you wouldn't be able to pick up Andy Cohen.
No, because he's got all of the reunions. He's got Watch What Happens Live. You'd have to get somebody else. And somebody mentioned when I brought up the news that they probably should have got Chuck to do this. He can't get Chuck because he's too toxic right now.
Yeah, that's the blunt force truth of it, Cindy. It's just you can't get Chuck Woolery to host the show because he's a toxic person. But Andy Cohen was a good catch for it. I can't think of anyone else that could actually fit, because he's this perfect mix of because he has journalism background, so he knows how to ask the right questions. But as a stand-up comedian, he also knows how to do the right charming joke and quip at the right time. My favorite one was on Love Connection. They gave them like $300 for dinner, and in the interview they said they made the person who was like one of the possible bachelors pay for the meal themselves.
Oh God.
And Andy's like, "We gave you $300. What did you do with it?"
What did they do with it?
She said she thought that was the appearance fee.
Oops.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like, it's things like that just it's kind of those moments that make Love Connection a great show. But it has no fit right now on Fox, and it would have fit perfectly on a CW, like you said, or on a cable channel, because these are perfect cable numbers to have.
Mm-hmm.
And if this was on Bravo, or this was somewhere else where they could still do 8 to 12 episodes for a season, Andy, of course, would still do it.
Yeah.
The budget is definitely cheap enough that it could have carried over to a cable network.
Mm-hmm. Now the question is, should have got canceled? I think
No.
most will say no. Did it deserve to get canceled because of the ratings? Yeah.
Yes. But how I would have done it, just transfer it to a different channel. It's a different channel kind of show.
Well, it's not owned by Fox. Warner Brothers owns it, so
they could have easily put it to, let's see. I believe they still own the Turner networks then, because it's Warner.
it wouldn't fit in either one.
Because TBS, you could shop it over to Bravo for NBC. You could probably, well, no, I was going to come with the dumb idea of you just bring it to GSN, but we know they would never do that.
They're not doing weekly stuff anymore. They're doing they want daily strips.
They want daily strips of they want to go back to a lingo, but even then they're just not. I would safely say they just went to the wrong channel.
Yeah.
I do definitely see the show works. The format still is a success. You nailed it with Andy Cohen. It really was just, what do you pair Love Connection with? Because a syndicated show like Love Connection worked because it was a lead-in to something.
Like in some markets in the 80s, it was a lead-in to like the Newlywed Game.
Yes, it was lead to Newlywed Game or the Dating Game. Don't forget the Dating Game.
Mm-hmm.
I remember once they paired it up with, I believe, the talk shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a Geraldo at the time, Donahue, which also works because it's also a chat show. So it's that nice transition between game show to the chat show. So you can have that nice middle ground. You got like, okay, we just did Family Feud, Love Connection. Now here's I don't know, but I wouldn't say
Sally Jesse Raphael.
And it worked. It was a perfect transition to. Mm-hmm. This show couldn't do that. It's a 1 hour show, and Fox only has 2 hours a night. Like, you either have to cut the show into half and make it 30 minutes, or you have to just keep it the hour and have it be like a 7 o'clock show, like what Fox sometimes does with their animation domination block.
Which would never work.
Because, hey, after you just saw a person with heartbreak, go see Family Guy. You'll laugh out loud.
No, you won't. Yes, I think CW 8 o'clock. It's got a shot.
It would have done better than, say, A Wicked Offer or A Perfect Match or Capture.
No, perfect score, you mean?
Perfect score, yes. The Deal or No Deal with people.
Just
or
listing off.
sit, or
Just listing off stuff that I need to do.
Okay. Capture, sit. Let's see. The Pepsi play for $1 billion.
No, I will not do that because that was just a special number picking $1 million chicken, so that gets a pass.
It doesn't get a pass on my show. I'm just telling you that right now. And last time I checked, Cindy, someone inducted Think Like a Cat, and wasn't that a special?
Yeah, but it was a bad game show.
And you know what Pele for $1 billion was?
An okay game show.
Sure. But to put this on right before a CW show. Put this on with the pair this up with a reboot of The Cube.
Oh God.
Dude, bring back The Cube, put to America, put on CW.
Or Wipeout.
I mean, if Wipeout would definitely work on a CW show. I mean, they had sit. Now you can have the real thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it. Can it be or not, of course. This will definitely be back.
Join us next time for a post-mortem on the $100,000 pyramid to tell the truth. Match game. The Gong Show.
None of
Double
these.
Dare? Double Dare?
No. None of these will be happening on this show.
Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady.
No.
Deal or No Deal on CNBC.
Shut up.
All your game shows will get canceled.
I think the obvious next one is Millionaire.
Oh yeah, I'll come back for the Millionaire.
Yep.
I'll be the Paul Bear to your Undertaker.
So for Jordan Haas, who i.e. hashtag Jordan for Card Sharks, game shows I suppose. What shows have you talked about recently on game shows I suppose?
All right. Most recent episode was The Apprentice with Chapo Trap House's own Matt Chrisman. Before that was sit with my friend Jack from Funtime Calls. Before that, we did Where in the World's Carmen Sandiego with Jeremy Hammond. And we have you locked in for Shop Till You Drop.
It's a game full of prizes and a few surprises.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So for Jordan Haas, I'm Cindy Saddleman saying good night, everyone. We'll see you next time as we look at everything post-mortem.